Welcome back to the Youth Group Reunion Tour podcast. I'm your host, Mike.
My name's Jared. I'm your co-host.
And this is Youth Group Reunion Tour. A great episode coming up. Branching out again, exploring new territories.
We're finally going to live up to our premise. We are going to have a guest, everyone.
This is a big
First
deal.
guest.
I am prepared.
And coming from such a long distance away, too. All the way from the other room.
Yeah. It still counts as a guest,
It still counts. She was in our youth group. It counts.
Right, yeah. It was a big part of it. And we actually met at youth group.
Yes.
We, of course, are talking about my lovely wife, Leann. That's her name.
Yeah, okay.
And we live together.
I wanted you to take the way and lead. I don't know.
Yeah, no. So let me give you a little background to our guest. Leann and I met in youth group. So she is a youth group love. Youth group love is a lot different than high school love.
Yeah.
Although it is in high school.
It was overlap.
The dynamics are a little different.
Yeah.
And Leann said she first knew who I was when people were chanting my name as I was late to play for the youth band. Someone started up a chant with my last name. And she's like,
your only name as far as I'm concerned, which is a struggle every day on the podcast for
which
me.
is not the name that I'm going by in this podcast.
Who knows? Maybe we'll reveal your name at some point.
It could be, but it needs enough traffic such that people aren't like, hey, I know him. I don't have enough infrastructure to deal with the stalkers.
Yeah.
The risk reward isn't there.
The Gabbies of the world.
Yes, the Gabbies, and actually
a story for another time.
The Mr. Gabbies of the world too. So yeah, that was pretty vague. But Leann and I met in youth group, and that was the first time that she heard of me when I was doing something. I was actually playing this game, or a very similar clone of the game that we're about to talk about today.
By clone, you mean original?
Depends, you can make an argument that...
I don't think you can, but go ahead, make the argument.
Okay. Well, the game that we're going to talk about is a youth group classic, and I was playing this game, and it made me late for the actual youth band.
Because you were in the back playing it.
I was in the back playing it.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't aware of the time, and I just wanted to level up, and I wanted to get done. And according to the story from my lovely wife, she didn't know who I was, but for some reason people were shouting my name, and she thought that was pretty cool. So anyways, the game that we're about to do today is not the game that I was playing. Like I said, the game that I was playing was the youth group staple, which was Guitar Hero. And this is the Christian version of a very popular game, which was not Guitar Hero, but is in the same genre. It was a rhythm game, Dance Dance Revolution.
Which we also had.
Right. So it was the Christian version. Apparently...
What's the official name of this?
Dance Praise.
Dance Praise.
And
what I will say is that I had DDR for the PlayStation 2. All right, I had the dance mats. The dance mat for this looks exactly like the one that I have, but with a different color palette, and then it says Dance Praise on it instead of DDR.
Yeah, so for some reason, this was like the peak period of rhythm games. So Dance Dance Revolution was an arcade game, right? Late 2000s. Dance Dance Revolution was an arcade game. Guitar Hero. Then you had Rock Band. And the official release date of this game, I think, was like 2007.
Yeah. Little towards the end of the party.
Yeah, and you could really tell, though, from the songs that were on it, that this was some really solid tracks on it. But apparently, I watched an interview with the founder and CEO of this company. And
I didn't know about this. Go on.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll say...
No, I'm interested to hear.
I found an Archive 700 Club interview.
Oh, man.
And so, basically, he said that his 13-year-old daughter was playing this Guitar Hero game.
Yeah.
And he didn't like the fact that there's like scantily clad music videos, that some of the lyrics were questionable.
By the way, Guitar Hero is animated. It doesn't have real people in it.
But there were scantily clad cartoons in it, right?
Yeah. I mean, they were like midriffs.
Yeah, so he probably didn't.
They weren't like in lingerie or anything.
No, but a little edgy, Avril Lavigne. That's kind of what I remember. I
forget what there was definitely a girl that was like a punk and had like a mesh top with like a tank top on it and like a skirt with like clothespins in it or whatever.
Right. So the story that this person told was that he was a game developer. He worked on some games that I had heard of, actually. I don't know if you're Mech Warrior.
Yeah,
familiar with Mech Warrior. That was a pretty cool game. He worked with some educational software, I believe. So some of the broader bun classics, if I'm not mistaken, it was like the Freddy Fish games, things like that. I think, I'm not positive, I don't have it in front of me. But anyways, he said he wanted to make a safe, fun, family-friendly, church-friendly alternative. And one of the big things with this was that he wanted to include the lyrics in it because...
Not just the MIDI tracks.
Yeah, not just the MIDI tracks and not just like another alternative. He was saying that he wanted the lyrics to be there because they are Christian songs, and like that's where the ministry comes from. So, he pulled it together with all these songs, and it's actually a series. Mm-hmm. So this company...
We played the second one, the remix, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's Dance Praise, the original. There's Dance Praise 2, the remix.
Yeah, that's the one we played. And then there is...
Then there is Guitar Hero, Praise.
Which is... Listen, folks, it's in the mail. We're going to play it. We're calling the episode now. There's a follow-up episode where we play Guitar Praise.
And I'm very excited for it. So, our friend told us about this, and I watched the video. You can find it on YouTube. It's like a Christian book advertisement.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh man, I got to play this.
This video is insane because, so first of all, this game only available on the PC. These people are playing it in their living room on their main TV in like the mid to late 2000s, which it would be like impossible to like do that at that time.
Yeah.
And, like I guess you probably could, but it's not something that normal people would have been able to do.
Yeah.
For the most part. And they had it like in their living room. They like brought their PC tower in and hooked it up to their TV or whatever. Somehow it had managed to do that, and we're playing it in the living room.
So speaking of PC Tower,
yeah.
So what we decided to do is the process of acquiring this, I think, is worth telling a story.
So we'll say that Mike said that he was, he had the game for us, and I was like, oh, he has made a virtual machine on his computer and has installed Windows XP or whatever it was, because that's something that I know Mike could do very easily. I was like, that's obviously what he's doing. I get over here. What do I see, Mike?
Well, you see a fabulous, fat tower from 2007.
What color is it?
It's that ugly, pasty white. Like it used to be like bright white.
Yeah.
And then after sitting in a factory for like a decade,
yeah,
it has all the yellowing.
Graciously referred to as cream, maybe.
Maybe cream, but not originally cream.
No.
It definitely was like ivory, and now it's weathered pretty hard.
And what I'll say about when I saw this thing, I said, my middle school had better computers than that.
You're probably right. So where I acquired this computer, I'm a bit of a pack rat when it comes to technology, for better, for worse. Sometimes if someone says, I really need this cable, do you have one?
Real quick, how many computers, laptops, or towers would you say you could get to within 30 seconds in your house?
Within 30 seconds?
Yeah.
6.
What about if you had a minute?
I'm...
Still
10.
6? 10? Okay.
Yeah, that gives me time to go to the basement.
Okay.
And then pull the other ones out of storage. Maybe that is excessive. Maybe I do have a problem. I'm looking at my cable of wires here, and we have 2 laptops set up right now.
And I'm using neither of them.
And maybe I should get that worked on.
Listen, you got the space. Treat yourself.
Yeah, I guess. Anyways, so the story of this computer and how it came to be is a very interesting one as well. So Leann used to have a job where she was an assistant in an engineering firm, and that was her first like big girl job. Straight out of the grocery store.
Straight out of homeschool.
Straight out of homeschool, into the grocery store, into Perkins, into this engineering firm. And apparently they were giving it away at some time, and she came home with it and was like, hey, Mike, do you want this? And I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And so it sat at my parents, who then...
What year did you acquire this computer?
2000, it was when we were dating, so probably 2009.
Okay.
So I've
This
had
is
it over a
sophomore year of
decade now.
college.
Yeah, sophomore year of college. So I was at my parents' house, and then one day my parents were like, "Hey, here's this computer. Don't you want it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that was in the basement."
When is the last time you booted this computer up before today?
Probably shortly after I got it.
Okay.
But it came. So here's another interesting fact about it. It came with Windows XP pre-installed, and they did not wipe this drive at all. They just was like, well, here it is. Here's the computer. Just like it was just like Joe's last day on this computer. And they're like, well, you don't need this anymore. You're getting a new one. Did not wipe it.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Was it a Dell?
Maybe
we can only hope.
Was. We can only hope. That was the jam back in the day. Either that or an Alienware. Those are the
You're
elite
telling
of
me
elite.
an alien wore this? You know what that's from?
No.
It's all right. That joke's for Caleb and Caleb only.
Okay. Well, anyways, so they didn't wipe it at all. And so I was like, well, I could do this virtual machine thing, or I could hack it and see if I can get the password. So in the process of doing this,
We should say that Mike is a former white hat hacker. Just for some
current
reference.
white hat hacker,
Yes.
unless the podcast has taken off by the time this releases, and now I've really made it since all the Patreon subscribers are just replacing my day-to-day income. But
twos of subscribers,
yeah, maybe we'll get to that point.
fives of dollars.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I am currently and formerly, I used to, and I still am too, a white hat hacker. And so I plugged it into my network. I ran the NSA exploit against it, seriously, compromised it, and then got the passwords from it. And then I was able to log in. And the first thing I did after logging in was installing Dance Praise 2, the remix. and that's how we played it. We have pictures
And this
of this.
wouldn't have been possible without your wife.
Well, it would not have been possible
And our
without
first
our wife.
guest.
And I think this is as good a time as any to introduce her. It's now 12 minutes into the podcast here, so I think it's about time we introduce our guest and let her have some speeches. Okay, let's get her in. Hi, everyone. This is producer Mike speaking. Just wanted to give you a quick heads up before this next guest speaks. This was before we introduced our policy of no last names. I am somewhat concerned about stalkers and weirdos. I've seen too many stories happen, both in my personal life and elsewhere through friends and family, to be comfortable using last names of our guests. So in order to protect our privacy, I have done some editing. If you hear weird sounds throughout this process, I've tried the best I can to maintain listenability, but there is just no way that I can let this go with the multiple repeated mentions of my name. So hope it's still listenable, but just wanted to explain it before you hear it in case you have any questions. All right, now back to the show. All right, well, here she is. I hope this sounds okay. Introduce yourself, Leann.
Hi, my name is Leann.
We got that already.
Well, I was asked to come on the podcast, but I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to say.
Leann, explain how you know us?
Okay, I know Jared through Northmar Youth Group. Am I allowed to say
Sure, yeah. You can
the
say
church
the
name?
Church, go for it.
I'll bleep it out.
Also, how else do you know? Tell this story.
Are you going to flex on these haters?
Of how I went to like 5 different dances with you?
Correct.
Let's not make Mike jealous now.
I've been to a dance with Mike's wife and his sister.
I'm right here, guys. I'm right here.
I think I may have danced with Jared more times than I've danced with my own husband.
It's all right. There was plenty of room for Jesus.
We like dancing, and he invited me to all the dances.
Yeah.
Mike, you just weren't quite as social as Jared.
You know what? So,
this is a bad idea, Mike. You're just getting dunked on.
I am getting dunked on. But I want Leann to tell the story of when you first met me in youth group.
Oh, yeah. I was invited by our friend Jesse to attend youth group for the first time. And it was unlike anything I had ever experienced. It was massive. I was used to coming from a church with like 5 people, and there were like 2,500 people there. And
I'll say our youth group probably had 100-ish people if junior and senior high were there. Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a little more, yeah.
To me, that was massive.
Oh, it's a big youth group. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely massive for a girl like me, a little homeschooled girl like me. But I was invited, and I saw that there were a bunch of people on stage waiting to get started with worship, and everyone was chanting Mike's last name. And I thought, like, oh my gosh, wow, this kid is super popular. Like, who is this kid?
To be fair, that's not inaccurate. Mike was very popular.
At the time, I did not know this, but I turn around and here comes this kid with an electric guitar slung around his back, running to the front stage. He had I think your hair was kind of spiky at the time. Spiky and like dark spiky hair and glasses.
If I'm remembering this correctly, we were in 8th grade. And
yes.
Mike would have been in 9th grade at this time,
yes.
correct?
So, I mean, freshman status.
Yeah, I don't think he had the long hair yet. I don't think it was cool yet. Fall Out Boy had just come out. It hadn't hit the zeitgeist yet.
That's honestly probably pretty true.
Yeah. No soul patch yet.
No.
So anyways, Mike was running up the stairs onto the stage, and everyone is still chanting and screaming his name. And I look over at Jessie and I'm like, who is that? And she's like, last name, kid. Yeah. And I was like, wow, he's really cute. And I don't remember her saying anything. I don't even think you were her type, but you were definitely my type. And I liked the musician, kind of nerdy. You had that going on.
Spelling bee champion.
Yeah.
That's a true story, folks.
I like that.
Went to the National Spelling Bee.
That's true.
Finished, 80th something?
Yeah, that's probably in the maybe double digits if I'm lucky. I think it was like 100.
It was a good showing.
Yeah.
It was a good showing.
Right. So, yeah, that was how I first saw Mike, and I didn't actually talk to you, I don't think, until maybe a year or two after that.
Oh, no, I didn't talk to you.
Wasn't it like 2 years later
it
at
was
the winter retreat? Wasn't it the winter retreat?
You know what? It was the winter retreat when people found out that I was actually kind of cool. Like I
already knew it. I had the inside track.
Yes, they gave me a shot.
Yeah.
I was very social.
There's a picture from that retreat that I have where Mike is I'm giving Mike a piggyback ride.
Yes.
And
then whose back am I on? No.
There was a girl named Corey. Couldn't tell you her last name if my life depended on it.
Wow, you're good with first names, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even remember her first name. With an I.
Yeah.
Corey with an I.
You know with an I.
Yeah. Big black curly hair.
Oh, yeah.
She was the life of the party.
Yeah.
She was something. I think I was giving
Leann,
her...
the life of the party.
Compared to me, I was like, whoa. But yeah, I remember that shot. I think I still have those pictures in my archive.
They were on my MySpace for sure. I had a Grove City campus security hat on. And then later I had that job.
Fake it till you make it, baby.
Right.
Fake it till you make it. So the other thing that we want to talk to you about, so that's a cool story. I'm glad I met you.
Thanks. I'm glad I met you too.
I'm glad
me too. Well, we met both of you.
So that's my husband.
But the other thing that I wanted your input on before we get into the meat and potatoes of today's episode was the computer.
I swear we're going to get to it.
Yeah, the computer I have in the basement.
Yes.
What do you remember about that computer?
The computer?
You can't say that.
Okay, are you going to bleep that out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to pretend that you cussed a swear.
See, I'm not exactly sure what I'm allowed to say when I'm not.
We're going to pretend that Leann cussed a swear and that we had to bleep it out.
Okay. What I remember about my old work computer that was not really given to you, it was kind of stolen for you, was someone at my job announced that they were giving away like a bunch of computers, and I was like, oh.
You only got him one? Come on.
Well, I could only fit so many in my car.
How's he going to mine Dogecoin with only one computer?
First of all, I didn't want anyone to know I was stealing it for Mike, but...
It was given to you. It's not
really.
It's not like you put it under your shirt and snuck it out.
I know, but it was like, I don't know, it was still kind of a weird thing. I wasn't going to take a bunch of old work computers and just give them to Mike. I grabbed one And yeah, Mike was super stoked when I gave it to him. I was like, happy birthday.
And then promptly forgot about
Here's a free computer. Oh, yeah. Forgot about it for so freaking long. It was in your parents' basement for probably, let's see, we've been married 6 years. And then you had it for, I don't know, probably another 5 on top of that.
We estimated 2009. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. But now it is a Lean Mean Dance Praise Remix playing machine.
Oh my gosh.
So
you
we are
really
ready
did
to go.
that.
He didn't. It was purely off the cuff.
It was I'm totally cool, Leann. You know me.
Love it.
All right, so we played this game. Mike, do you want to tell them about the hardware we were running?
Sure. So
we had a dance pad.
We got the dance pad. I got the dance pad from some lady. She's a woman who had a shared Facebook with her husband. So her name was blank and blank. You know the type.
Oh, yeah. Blank and blank last name.
And
yeah,
they were
yeah.
on Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, wow.
What are the chances?
What are the chances? So
How close to this your house was this? You don't obviously don't say where, but like how far did you have to drive to get there?
let's just say they're closer to Caleb
Okay.
than to me.
Got it.
But they shipped it for me.
Nice.
So they shipped me the dance pad. I was able to acquire the software through. I acquired the software in the dance pad, and when we put the dance pad down there, for some reason, like Windows XP isn't supported anymore, which is really dumb. But we couldn't get the drivers to actually work.
So it wouldn't recognize the dance pad. So
yeah.
My brilliant idea was just have someone play the game on a keyboard, and the other person is just going to pretend that they're playing it. Just so we could get the feel of what it was like to play the game.
Yeah, and let's go into a review of the game.
Honestly, I think it worked pretty well.
Yeah, my expectations for this were pretty high.
I was excited about this for like the past week when Mike told me that he was going to do it, because I was like, there's no way we can get this. And he's like, I found it for $10. And I've just been like messaging him on Discord. I was like, bro, I can't wait to come over and play this game.
Yeah, the hopes were super high, let's just say. And actually, it's not as bad as like you might think.
It was, honestly, I will say that it's essentially the same as DDR, but the input, it is far less forgiving than DDR is. So like when you're playing it, at least on the keyboard, I was awful. When it was my turn to man the keyboard, we were barely surviving. On DDR, when you would, if you got anywhere near it, it would at least give you like an okay. This one is like if you weren't like totally inside the box, like you couldn't lead the arrows at all, which I was used to like kind of leading them as they were coming in. So I was missing everything. And DDR was a lot more forgiving in that, and that you could, if you got it kind of close, it would count the input.
Yeah. So let's go over some of the songs that were on here. So
we tried what, 6 or 7?
Yeah, 6 songs exactly.
6 songs.
Yep. So I'm going to read the songs that we did, and here they are in order. Broken by 12 Stones.
Mike did that one.
Fire by Leann.
What?
Krystal Meyers.
Krystal Meyers.
Oh my God.
The album art for that album looked like Leann in high school, and at one point I photoshopped Leann's face onto the. And by photoshopped I mean I took MS Paint and with a mouse. And with a mouse, I jaggedly cut out Leann's head from her MySpace photo.
I tried so hard to be like Avril Lavigne.
And I pasted it on there, and then I sent it to Mike, and I was like, check out your girlfriend's album.
We actually got in a fight over that, I think, because...
Wait, me and you or you?
No, me and Leann.
Okay,
Because I was such a jealous
Leann was
person.
sensitive. She's like, you really think I look like that? And I was like, I guess. You have the hair swoop. I think so.
I thought he really liked Krystal Meyers, and I was like, I do not look anything like her, so either she's like way more attractive than me, or
I mean, yeah,
I was immature back then.
This was
okay?
like she's not like an A-list celebrity, so there's very limited pictures I've seen of Krystal Meyers. Like
only the album art. That's all I've
literally
seen.
only the album art, I think.
And I said, she's got the same haircut as Leann.
Yeah.
That means she looks like her.
Yeah. It was a
Completely
compliment.
different color.
It doesn't matter.
It was a compliment.
knows?
Anyways, so we
A
did
scene girl is a scene girl.
That's true.
so we did Fire by Krystal Meyers.
It ruled. I did it
was
multiple
awesome.
times. One time I played it with the keyboard in my hand and trying to dance at the same time. We've got video of it.
It's for real. Jesus Freak by DC Talk.
It's the hardest song by far. Also, the difficulty of this game is absurd because when we first started out, I was like, let's play on medium, right? That seems like a good starting point. And it was so easy. It was like one step and then you wait like 3 seconds and then like another step. And they were just like one at a time. There were no doubles. There were no like runs or anything like that. So I was like, oh, I could do this on expert, no problem. Because I used to have DDR at my house. I was good at it. Okay?
You were the DDR guy. I think I've
remember
played.
going over every weekend to play.
Yeah.
For your birthday, we would always play like a Guitar Hero rock band,
Yeah.
at least in those couple years span.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
So I get out. I was like, I could do this on expert. This game's a joke. And Jesus Freak absolutely wrecked me. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm probably 100 pounds heavier and 15 years older than the last time I played DDR. But still, okay, it was still hard.
Bro, that'll make
I'm
you
light on
wiggle around like a bowl full of marmalade jelly.
Yeah, listen, I'm light on my feet for my size, okay?
Took me a while
Yeah.
to catch what he said. I wasn't calling you fat. That was
I got it.
Making
Yeah.
sure you
Just so everyone else knows, it's the lyrics to Jesus Freak.
Yes.
And it was really hard, incredibly hard.
Arguably impossible, even on
Yeah.
keyboard. I
Yeah,
could
even
not
on
get...
the keyboard, you were struggling. You
Yeah.
got us. We lived through the song, but it was hard.
We did. We got Mood Rings by Reliant K.
Yes, Mike and I each played that one.
Yep, that was a fun one. Open the Eyes of My Heart, Lord. That was the unlockable
Yes,
track.
Take Me to
I
Church.
wanted to do that one because I was like, these other ones have been arguably danceable.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to do one that's strictly a praise song and shouldn't have a danceable beat to it. It did not.
That was the first time that I've actually heard that song.
Yeah, I've
not
never heard
covered.
We'd never heard the original version. We'd only heard our youth group and other people play it.
Yeah. No, it was pretty good. That was our second highest score, actually.
Oh yeah,
Then
it's because it was so easy because it was so slow.
yeah. Then Tonight by Jeremy Camp.
And
That was Leann's
Leann played that one.
That
favorite
was all
artist.
me. I own that.
You wanted to tell us about Jeremy Camp and that special connection you have?
Oh my gosh, the special connection I have with Jeremy Camp. He was my first concert of all time. I was 14 years old.
And what I want to, real quick, before we get into this, I want to say that the album art for this album looked like Mike in high school if he had highlights in his hair.
Yes.
Go on.
And I invited 5 of my closest girlfriends at the time.
Name drop them
Oh my gosh.
if you can.
Can I?
Yeah, do it. Just
Okay.
don't say
No
their
last
last names.
names.
Okay.
No one's gonna. They're probably all named Sarah. They're
Was
just
it
filled with
5?
Sarahs.
I think it was 5. No, maybe 3. Amber, Christina, they were sisters, literally BFFs with them. And then Rachel.
Lindy got cut out.
And Lindy was not my friend when I was 14.
Okay.
We didn't become friends until we
They were
were
frenemies.
Okay.
My AIM name was So Not Lindy.
Lindy is Leann's older sister, for anyone that's wondering.
Yeah, and she was pretty bitter about that. So we didn't really get close until maybe 16 or 17.
That's why you became not friends because of your screen name.
Oh, she hated my AIM name because it was So Not Lindy.
It seems like a strange battle to pick, but
I thought it was
sisters
super
gonna be
clever.
sisters.
Well, I was mistaken for Lindy all the time. People always call me Lindy. So I thought, hey, clever. So
Yeah.
not Lindy.
And me over here, who never met her sister, I said, "This aim makes no sense. What are you talking about?"
So I'll tell this story. We're getting a little off topic, but that's okay.
That's what the whole point.
That's
Just
the
do
whole
it.
point. So I think I've told you this before, but Leann has 2 brothers and 1 sister.
Name drop them.
Tim, Neil, Lindy, Leann. And Leann's a middle
Weird
child.
order that you went in there.
What?
It's in a weird order you went.
I know. I was like, that's not the order.
I guess
in which
he
they were
did.
born.
He did oldest boy, youngest boy,
Yeah.
oldest girl, youngest girl.
It made
So
sense in my
okay.
brain.
Okay, yeah, go on.
I don't know. I divide things and conquer, I guess.
That's okay.
So I met Tim. Tim had a lot of similar interests to me. He was into video games. What?
Go on. I want to tell a story about Tim after Mike's
Okay,
story.
all right. So I met him at the skating rink, ice skating.
Champion?
No, in Boardman.
Yeah, Ice Zone.
The ice zone, yep. So it was a youth group function doing this ice skating thing, and
Yeah.
Tim and I got to talking. He's like, "Oh man, you're really cool. You should meet my sister. You guys like a lot of the same stuff." I was like, "Yeah, she seems pretty cool."
I'm surprised Tim knew that about me.
No, he was
wrong
actually
sister.
he was
Wrong sister.
Oh my gosh, he was referring
Yeah,
to
he was
Lindy?
talking about Lindy. Yeah, because he knew
gosh,
I like
that's
music
embarrassing.
and stuff like that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you should meet my sister." I don't know if she was dating someone at the time and he was just playing matchmaker, or like he genuinely thought
she
we could be
was.
friends.
She was always dating somebody.
Wow.
Well, maybe
Get wrecked.
Tim didn't
Get
like
wrecked,
him and was
Lindy.
trying to home wreck the situation.
I'm
But
gonna have to talk to Tim about this.
oh, you know what? I don't know if he'll remember, but it's true. Anyways, I thought that was a funny anecdote. So that's how I met Leann.
Let me tell my Tim story.
Okay.
One time, we were going to a concert, and we were picking up Leann. And Mike and I are hanging out downstairs waiting for Leann to come down or whatever. Tim comes down. Tim is jacked out of his mind, okay? He's
Always has been.
Yes. He's pumping, and he comes down, and he's like, yo, do my pecs look the same size? Okay,
He did not.
yes, okay, he's shirtless, okay?
I'm
And he's-
embarrassed.
That's
I'm
where that
embarrassed
came
for
from?
him.
Yes,
I
okay.
thought that was a made-up encounter.
No,
That's a
this
real
really
encounter?
happened. This
Oh
really
my
happened.
gosh.
So he's like doing curls with his right arm or whatever, and Mike and I kind of looked at each other and and we were just like, no, your right one is way bigger, and he was like, what? And he switched arms and he started lifting on the left because he was trying to even it out.
All that while, and he still wouldn't talk to a girl. Like,
Absolutely yoked out of his mind.
I feel like Tim should be on the show to defend himself in this
okay.
moment.
I'm not picking. That's hilarious.
I'm
That's a
literally
good story.
telling everyone how jacked he is.
He's Jack, tan, and
No, because he'd
Yeah.
be like, no, I didn't do that. No, I never said
I
that.
remember. I remember.
I'm gonna discord him in.
But
very
that is
soon.
something he would say. It really is.
So, anyways, let's go back to your Jeremy Camp concert. So
Yeah.
you had 3-4 of your closest friends, and not Lindy, because you
And
guys
so
weren't
not
friends.
Lindy.
So not Linda.
So then, tell us about this concert.
I was the front and center. I got
Were you in
to.
the pit?
Was this at a church, or was this at a?
It was at a big
Good question,
church
Mike.
that didn't look like a church. You know, like those churches that are
Was
like
it up by Cleveland?
like a cool stage with all
Yeah.
the lights. Yes, it was up by Cleveland.
Or was it in Akron?
It was Akron.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, it
What's
was one of
that-
those
what's
like
that
real
church
hip
called?
churches.
I know the chapel.
There's a
It's the chapel.
Those are pretty trendy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me at the time,
The chapel, we went to a large church. The chapel is even bigger than our church.
yeah, and just way cooler looking.
How dare you? How dare you?
Lights, action.
That's-
They had a gym on the second floor, which is an awful idea because what if you're under the gym? You just hear people running around and dribbling. Anyway, go on.
And the carpet was a nice neutral color. It wasn't like red or green, you know?
It was cool.
Like really outdated carpet. It's all stained and smelly. No, the chapel was nice.
So it's in a church, but a cool church.
Very cool church.
Then you're front and center, moshing
Very
with the crowd.
fitting for a Jeremy Camp concert.
Now, are you in the pit? Or is
I
it-
am front and center. There's really no pit.
Okay.
There was no crowd surfing or anything like that, but
So it wasn't a cool
But-
concert, but go on.
But I got to touch his hand. And it was so incredible.
Woo!
Mike, what do you think about that?
I'm a
Okay,
little-
let's
little
let's
jelly.
talk about Jeremy Camp's physique.
Okay. Go on.
He-
Go on.
He was the most jacked
More than Tim?
Christian artist
More
I
than
had
Tim.
ever seen. More than Tim, absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I mean, like,
Throwing her
Okay,
husband
normally-
and her brother under the bus.
let me just say this. Normally, when there's a rocker, they're very like tall and scrawny. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
you think of like the lead singer of Switchfoot or whatever. Like that's like that
I
build.
try not to, but go ahead.
That build is the typical rocker physique.
It is so
think
weird
so?
having a girl in this podcast now. I'm just going to say that right now.
Well, you're hearing things you've never heard
I get-
before.
Yeah,
and
I know.
you don't know how
this
to
is
handle
great.
it right
This
now.
is
know.
good tent,
Yeah.
Leann.
Yeah,
this is
you
good
don't
tent.
know how to handle
okay.
it. But anyways, I mean, he was like military jacked. Like, it's like, what did you do before you became like a Christian artist? Like, what did you do as like
Special forces.
Like your hobbies? Like,
Yeah, special
like,
forces.
You know what I mean? What did you do? Anyways,
He's in Afghanistan.
So I was stoked to touch his hand, and I knew word for word every song.
What's your favorite one?
Honestly, the one that I got to do for the dance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, tonight, because it was his harder songs.
Oh, yeah.
There was also...
Leann killed it.
He also had another song that was super hard.
I mean,
like,
we didn't know her actual
like
score
POV
because...
You're thinking of
inspired.
Take My Life, right?
Yes!
Wow.
Yes!
I don't know that song, but that title...
I had to read up on this guy after his, threat to my marriage here.
I'd sing it for you, but it's...
Go ahead.
Go ahead, try
it.
You can't
No.
proffer that
No.
and not deliver.
I just
Alright.
can't.
I'll start.
Do.
Take my
JC like
life,
that.
take my mind, take my soul, take my will, 'cause I am yours, yeah.
I
Give it all to you.
Yes.
Amazing.
It's better with the two of us doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It really
we're,
gets
we're
the
gonna cut
effect.
that and we're
Yeah.
gonna put it over the real
On
song.
the Patreon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna do the full song. So you got to touch his hand.
Yes.
Anything
and
else
then
happen?
I don't really remember too much
Did he,
more
did he,
about
did he
the
flick his
actual
pick into the crowd or anything?
performance. I don't remember that. But I did get a photo with him afterwards and got to talk to him for a little bit. I got a picture with me and the friends that I brought.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Awesome.
Super good memory.
That was your first concert?
That was my very first concert.
Did
Like-
you wear earplugs?
I've never
I was
worn
about to
earplugs.
say.
I've never worn earplugs, and I've regretted it one time. Okay, so I used to be a substitute teacher. One time, I got the opportunity to go and see a DJ. I can't remember who it was. Oh man, Borges. Okay, I got the chance to go see Borges.
Which, by the way, coming to town next month.
Oh wow! I went, and so I lived near Youngstown, Ohio. He was playing in Pittsburgh. It was a weeknight, okay. And I was like, I didn't have a teaching job the next day, and usually they, will call you ahead of time most of the time. Sometimes they'll call you the day of. And so I drive to this club in Pittsburgh, watch Borges, drive home. I don't get home until maybe 4:30 or something. Okay, I go to bed. I get a call at 6 a.m.
Oh,
They say we want you to come in and sub for 8th grade science is what it was.
So you pulled a straight School of Rock, like
Yeah,
Jack
okay.
Black.
So
Like,
I was like I needed this money at the time, right? I needed that $80 a day, and so I go in. It is at my old middle school from my old middle school science teacher. Okay. She's doing like in-school training or something. So like she's at the school but doing some training in the room or something. And then she had like an assistant that would help for like the kids that needed like, okay. So that person is essentially running the class, but I'm in there. Also, I cannot hear anything. Okay. I'm running on no sleep and I can't hear anything. I just have tinnitus the whole time. And some kid comes up and talks to me, and it was like Charlie Brown. Like I could hear their mouth, I could see their mouth moving, and I could hear that they were saying something, but I couldn't hear what it was. And I was just like, sure. And the kid left the room, and I never saw him again. I don't know what I told him he could do, but he never came back. I never got in trouble for it, but
hey, mister, can I drop out?
I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, I assume he wanted to go to the bathroom or whatever.
No, he just wanted to leave
I was
school.
like, yeah, who knows? I mean, nothing bad happened, so it was fine. I mean, worst thing that happens is that he wasn't in class when a sub was there, and all they were doing was a worksheet anyway, or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was. Anyway, wear earplugs to concerts.
Yeah, I always wear earplugs to concerts, but
What about that time we went and saw Hardwell, and there
I
was
had earplugs.
I didn't. Whoops. Mike,
Oh, it was
quick,
also a big venue.
real quick. Let's tell that story. We went and saw Hardwell at an abandoned factory in Pittsburgh,
That was pretty cool.
And there was a 10-year-old drinking a beer on someone's shoulders, and everyone was cheering him on. It was insane.
He had a good taste. It was a PBR, so at least it was hipster.
It was a tall boy.
Yeah, it was a very tall PBR.
And we saw some teenagers get arrested for doing Molly.
Yeah, that was.
We saw some teenagers get arrested for doing Molly, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, those Pittsburgh kids.
And then Hardwell played Apollo, and we left.
Yeah, I think we did.
It was. We were like, all right,
great.
we got to get out of here. It was like, we got to get out of here.
No, that was actually a really fun show.
Yes. All right.
Not as fun as Jeremy Camp.
Let's get back on topic. Sorry.
Yeah.
So what other songs did we play?
The last song that we played was Toby Mac, Meant to Love. That was an unlockable track.
Yes.
And that was pretty good. It was a jam.
I got a video of Mike doing that one.
Yeah. So I wanted to talk about some of the dynamics of this. There's an arcade mode that we played accidentally briefly.
We did it, yeah. This is the first thing we did when we were trying to play Jesus Freak.
Yeah.
Okay? And what it was is if you've ever played Guitar Hero, I think starting in Guitar Hero 3, you could do battles, right? And as you played, instead of getting star power, you would get like something you could launch at your opponent to make it harder for them. Like it would break their string or would hide the notes or, whatever it was. And that's essentially what this was. But instead of inflicting it on an opponent, you inflicted it on yourself.
Yeah, like it was weird. They had the biblical plagues that you had.
It was like, as we were going, it was like smoke or something. And it just covered the entire like screen in smoke and you couldn't see what the notes were or whatever.
The worst one was the strobe effect.
Oh, yeah. It was like, they needed a warning on
there
that
was
thing,
no
man.
warning because I thought like my computer, because like, oh, it's this old Windows XP computer. What's going on with that? Well, turns out it was a power down, I guess.
To yourself. Self-inflicted.
And so the screen would flash, and it was kind of a cool effect, not going to lie, during Jesus Freak. It's the lights turning on and off.
Here's what I would say, though, is like, even if there was another player playing on the same, you'd be playing split screen.
Yeah,
it would still be happening to you.
Yeah, it was the entire screen.
Yeah,
it was wild. But it was actually pretty cool. I was pretty impressed with the game. I think the soundtrack was good. They have a lot of unlockables.
Yeah. So what I would say about it was, all the songs were the actual songs, and the input was a lot less forgiving than DDR. When we were playing it on Expert, it had a lot of like the things that were fun about DDR, at least the things that I liked about it, where it had dance moves that made sense, where it was like you would essentially do like a trot or a run, or you could like walk around the dance pad to try and do it. Or there was one song, I don't remember which one it was playing, but I was doing a lot of jumps.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is too much. I'm spending way like
it's probably Krystal Meyers.
It's probably it ruled. Also, I'll stand by that song, "Fire" by Krystal Meyers.
It's a bop.
It's fire. It's literally and figuratively fire.
Dude, I'm gonna look her up on Instagram and see what she's doing these days.
I'm gonna listen to her on Spotify on the way home.
She's probably married with like 6 kids.
The cool thing
about married to Jeremy Camp.
Yes. Probably.
The cool thing about Christian artists is like when they fall off, they fall off hard. So like they don't go to do like a residency in Las Vegas like Britney Spears or something, or like
free
Usher,
free Britney,
and
yes.
Free Usher, and bring back Calvin Harris by October, please.
Please.
Yeah.
We're going to see him. Please be there.
Please be there. But like Christian artists, like when they fall off, like they could be your barista in like Nashville, Tennessee, and you'd have no idea. Like, oh yeah, I'm Krystal Meyers. Who? Like, I don't know. I just feel like that she's not to the level of like Astounding Wealth where they're making a theme park out of her, like Dolly Parton or something.
So real quick, when we saw the picture, the album art of Krystal Meyers, who did you see? She's the Christian who?
She's a Christian Avril Lavigne.
Leann?
Oh, absolutely, Avril Lavigne.
I said Haley Williams.
100%.
I was the odd man out. She had red hair, so that's what made me go towards Haley Williams.
You're probably closer to the time period of Haley Williams because this was late 2000s. And Avril Lavigne was like early 2000s.
Yeah,
if I'm
Skater
thinking
Boy
correctly.
was 2004.
Yeah,
like that,
yes, and I would say between 2001 to 2004, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, overall, I think the game was honestly better than I expected. The songs were
It was
Pretty
by
good.
no means good.
Yeah.
But it was, my hopes were very high, and they weren't that dashed by the product that we got. I had a great time. I enjoyed it. I sweated through my shirt. We got a picture of it.
That means it was real good.
Yeah.
So there's one thing I want to add.
Listen, I would have sweated through that shirt either way.
Yeah,
Even if it
that's
wasn't
very
good.
True. I'll turn the AC
Go hard,
on
go hard,
for
go
DJ.
home.
That's right.
So one thing I want to add is I heard this person tying this back to the interview.
Yeah.
The creator of the game said he made a youth group version with 10 dance mats at the same time.
That's
so like
insane.
10 people can play at once.
So they could all crowd around a computer screen.
So who is this guy
I
that
guess.
invented this game?
Oh, you weren't here for the intro. Well, let me go over that again.
Just give her a real quick rundown.
It was a guy who used to work for an educational software company and decided that he wanted to make...
You ever heard of Freddy Fish? No. Okay, never mind.
His name was Freddy Fish.
No, that's the name of a game that he worked on.
Oh, gosh. I
No.
feel bad for him.
We don't know what his name is.
Frederick Fish the Third.
You ever heard of Mech Warrior? What if that was his name? What an amazing name that'd be.
Yeah. No, he was a guy who didn't like that the secular version of Dance Praise had a lot of scantily clad album art in it, like
it was
negative lyrics.
Guitar Hero.
A Guitar Hero was
right?
the one,
Because DDR didn't really have people. It was just like an epileptic's nightmare in the background, where it was just like
I
a bunch
thought
of
GDR
lights
you
and
could pick your character though.
maybe in later versions, but
Because I remember being able to pick a character.
at least in the one of the ones that I had, like the one that had Sandstorm and stuff on it, it would just play like like a what would essentially be like a YouTube lyric video in the background, where it was just like lights and sounds and whatever.
Yeah. So to add on to this, there was also an iOS version. Now this was iOS.
Why? You're just gonna tap it?
I've been trying to find it. I found some Turkish forum that was posting about it. There's this apparently community around Dance Dance Revolution games where people will rip the song files so you can play them in other engines. And so they
give a shout out and ask them if they can help us. If someone ever hears this, do you know the name of the...
I'm trying to think of the name.
If you're part of the Turkish DDR community,
yes,
and you can help us get this on a different engine so we can use a mat that actually works,
yes,
reach out.
Let's reach out. But
I need to play Fire by Krystal Meyers.
Well, it's not just Fire. There was Extreme Days by Toby Mac on it, which I was like, oh, if we can get that song, that would be legendary.
That rules.
Because that song is amazing. If you scroll back in our episode's history, you can go ahead and listen to the Extreme Days extravaganzas.
And do a 2-hour deep dive on the actual movie. Probably longer than the actual movie. Yeah. Possibly as long or longer.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
It really is a good perspective. But anyways, there's like for the original iPod Touch. Leann, you got me an iPod Touch for my birthday one year. That was a nice gift.
I remember giving it to you at Bravo Cucinas.
Yeah. My wife has never given me a present that expensive, ever.
You know what? Well, I did.
To be fair, I've never given her a present that expensive, ever.
That's probably why.
Actually, to tie this in, I have one more story. Do we have time for one more story? Yeah, we got one more.
We're in charge.
Okay,
here.
All right.
We're at your house. Who's kicking us out?
So one of Leann and I's first unofficial dates was at the local community college. There's a Christian concert there.
Do you remember the band?
It was only local bands. I remember the names of them.
Doesn't it like Shudder?
Shudder was one of them.
Yeah.
Gates Called Beautiful.
They were actually pretty
Break
good.
out the shotguns.
No, there was no. We weren't actually playing.
Neither Ash.
Nope.
These are all Mike's bands.
Mike wanted to play. So
I wanted
bad.
to play, but it was at Kent, and they were raffling an iPod.
Yes.
At the end of it, do you remember that?
I definitely do.
Do you remember whose name got drawn?
My mother's, Grace.
How did that happen?
I put every family member of mine, their name, in a hat, and they drew my mom because there was like 20 people there.
Wow. Amazing.
So the chances of them picking a family member of mine, there's 6 of us.
She literally stuffed the ballot box to get an iPod.
And then they were like, Grace, you've won an iPod.
I just remember your face. You're like, yeah, Grace.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me right here.
That was the first thing I'd ever won. of actual substance.
Wow.
Yeah, I was stoked.
I remember at one time.
I never told my mom.
The first thing I ever won, it was like I was a little kid and our library had like a summer reading program or something. And they were doing like a giveaway or something. And there was a book. It was called like The Rainbow Fish. Do you remember that book?
It's a good one.
All right. So it was a finger puppet of the fish from The Rainbow Fish. And I won it. And I was so hyped. It was like you put your little index finger in it, and you could make it swim around. And it was like shiny and had glitter on it because that was like the whole book was like that fish was so special. And it's anyway.
That's pretty fat.
Mike, do you remember the first thing you ever won?
The first thing I ever won was the spelling bee.
Mike.
Nice. That's a trip to DC, baby.
Such a brag.
I already plugged it earlier.
The first thing I ever won
was the county
spelling bee in Washington, D.C., and I won my first guitar that was worth $10,000.
It's not worth $10,000.
Yes, it was.
It was not.
Yes, it was.
These streets, these people.
Well, it's worth $10,000 now.
No, it's not.
Hey, it's worth whatever people will pay for it.
Be modest, Mike.
We're going to have to do a whole other episode for the spelling bee. That's not really youth group culture, though.
Hey, homeschool.
That's okay. You're right.
It's super homeschool.
I will say that our church had 3 county spelling bee champions that went to the national.
And how many homeschoolers did Northmore have?
A lot.
Ton.
A lot.
The percentage is probably pretty high.
Because there was 3 from our church, right?
Yeah.
That's an episode.
There were 2 dynasties.
We could get another one on. We know them.
I bet we can.
Yeah.
I bet we can. There's a dynasty for sure. Oh, yeah. But anyways, back to the game.
Call up Josh and we'll see what we can do.
I just want to wrap this up. Going back to the game, though, I would rate this game out of 5 crosses.
Okay, and what are you going to rate it?
I'm going to rate it a 3.
3.
To me, it was playable. It worked.
It did what it was supposed to do.
It did what it was supposed to do. No frills. They tried a little extra. For an indie game, I've played a lot worse.
Yeah.
How about you?
Leann, what's your rating?
It was very similar to DDR. Very, very similar. They did a good job. Their song selection could have been a little bit more on the pop side.
If you could put any song on that, what song would you put? I know what my choice is. I mentioned it.
By Stacey Rico.
Okay.
That's on there.
There was a Stacey Rico song
sure?
on there. There was a song by her. We don't know which one it was.
It has to be Stuck because that's the one that was real poppy, dancey.
We can go play it after this. Mike, what song would you add?
I would have added Extreme Days. I think I've made that very clear. That song rules.
That song rules, and I'll fight anyone that disagrees.
Was POD Youth of a Nation on there?
No.
Okay, that
should have been on there,
That is so wrong.
I feel like that song is better suited for the guitar one because I don't think that song is a very danceable song from what I remember of it, but it would be a very good guitar song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah.
There's no Worldwide Message Tribe on there.
That would rule.
That would be cool.
What about Jump 5?
No, that wasn't on there, I don't think.
Jumping around?
Jump 5.
I'm just saying.
Spinning around by Jump 5.
What's Leann, what's that one the one Sixpence None the Richer?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Kiss Me?
Yeah. Kiss
Were
me.
they a Christian band?
I think so.
Yes.
I think
Sold
so.
in a Christian bookstore.
Okay,
and the name Sixpence None the Richer.
Kiss Me. That was not very Christian. For them to sing about "Kiss Me," you know what I mean? They were pretty secular though. They were on the radio.
Judas kissed Jesus, and marked him for the soldiers.
Greet one another with a holy kiss.
With a holy kiss.
Whatever.
Holy kiss.
It's biblical.
I'm just saying, if my mom heard that song and was like, "Is this Christmas?"
If Grace heard it,
yes. If Grace heard that song, she'd be like, "What are they doing? Talking about kissing under the moonlight or
There's
whatever."
There's too many stories that are coming up, but Leann's dad smashed her Switchfoot CD because it wasn't Christian enough.
No, Jared, I am scarred. This is trauma for me. You're laughing at my trauma. Dude, no, it was Christmas Day. My mom got me the
Did you get it for Christmas?
Yes. An actual physical copy of the Switchfoot CD. We were on our way to church Sunday. Christmas happened to be on a Sunday.
Yeah.
We were on our way to church, And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to play my new CD, and popped it in the car. My dad was like, what is this heathen rock music?
Did he throw it out the window of the car?
He literally took it out of the car, and he didn't
What
break it.
song was playing? Do you remember the song that was
but
playing?
he threw it in the trash can that was right outside the car door.
Do you remember what song was playing?
Oh, it's probably just track number 1.
Okay.
Yeah, we never even made it through the first track. My dad was just like, this is ridiculous. Who got you this CD? I was like, Mom! My actual mother got me this CD for Christmas. But later that night, I dug it out of the trash.
Did it still
outside.
work?
I mean, it was scratched up.
So it just
and covered in like banana peels.
So, needless to say, you would not add that song to the soundtrack? Any Switchfoot songs on there?
Not unless you're trying to get her dad to come down here and wreck it.
I love Switchfoot. I will always love Switchfoot. My dad couldn't have done anything to stop my love for them. I got a hot take when we do our Switchfoot episode.
Okay.
If I could add any song, we'd mentioned this earlier. There was a Newsboys song on there, but it wasn't Breakfast, which is what I wanted it to be. I don't know if that's a good song to dance to, but I love that song.
It's a jam. It's a great song.
I make my wife listen to Breakfast every Sunday on the way to church.
I love that.
Shortly after you burn the toast.
Yeah, that's right.
And you made her love it, right?
It's like the perfect song because it's like almost exactly the amount of time it takes us to drive to church. It usually,
wow, you're lucky.
Yeah, it usually plays like
this is like 30 minutes.
What it'll do is usually when I play it, it'll play that, and then it'll start playing like another like similar song from the time. So the two that Spotify likes to play are "Flood" by Jars of Clay and "Dive" by Stephen Curtis Chapman, which also
a good jam.
Cool, and are great.
Jars of Clay.
Man, if Flood isn't on that guitar song, I
hope it is.
That's a crime.
I hope it is.
That song would be great.
It would be a great song.
We should wrap this up. We're really rambling here.
No, we're doing
that was
great.
A great
okay,
episode.
good.
Well,
good.
So
thanks, Leann.
Good job, you guys.
Leann.
Including me.
Thank you. Thank you to our guest. There are more in the series.
How did I do?
It's not over yet. We're still rolling.
Oh.
You're doing great.
Will I be invited back?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe. Yeah.
Because I live here, so it's easy for me to make.
I wanted to close with this. This is I guess I wanted to talk more about this, but we got sidetracked.
Also, real quick, because we're going to call out you had mentioned your friend Jessie.
Yeah.
We're calling her out right now.
We are.
Jessie and Abby.
I know how to get a hold of her.
Abby. Mike and I are challenging you to dance praise or whatever.
Dance praise.
A legendary dance battle took place in our youth group. Mike and Abby.
Yep. We were the dance crew. Abby was, there's two types of dancers, Jared. Yeah. There's the dancers who are like the
trained.
The golden retrievers.
Juilliard trained.
Yeah, the golden retrievers of the dance world, where they learn to sit and shake and be proper, kind of poodly. Yeah. And then there are the wolves of the dance world who go on pure energy, who don't know anything and just make fools of themselves and make people believe it.
Yes, pure vibes.
Yeah.
Pure energy. That's me and you.
Yeah. I was more of the wolf.
You were the wolves of
vibe.
Dance.
That's right.
But
the 2-man wolf pack.
But somehow it became a thing at youth group to always do dance-offs.
Always. And it was always Sandstorm.
And
it was always Sandstorm. Was it not always Sandstorm?
Yeah, it was always Sandstorm. And I think it happened where like they tried to get other people to dance.
Yeah.
And like they always would like to do guys and girls.
Yeah.
And I think it was just because I would stand up and volunteer for it all the time that I just
when it wasn't you, it was me.
Yeah.
And it was just because we were the most intense. Like
you guys were so intimidating. No one else wanted to.
I'm gonna give it everything I've got, and it's not gonna look pretty, but it's gonna look intense.
Yep.
Well, the whole ground literally shook when you guys dance. I mean, you put your whole body.
Mike, what was your signature move?
My signature move was I did this
You windmill swinging your arms.
I was gonna say picking up change.
Yeah.
No, he did that
hammer.
too. The one I'm talking about is the one where he would go like this and swing his arms up. Like he was picking up change.
Arms.
Yeah.
So hard.
I was gonna say my half breakdancing move where I just sort of spin my legs,
just like flop around the ground, and everyone would go nuts.
Yeah.
And we're getting way off track. We could tell a story about dance battles later. That's the episode for Jessie and Abby. We're challenging them.
I wonder if we could get them to like virtually like.
Honestly, I'll take anyone.
Do a dance.
I'll take anyone from the family. John,
Okay.
I'm friends with
Nathan,
Abby and Jesse.
Emma,
Here's the rules.
Olivia,
Let's set the
Megan.
rules. Let's
I
set
think
on
I named
Instagram.
all of them.
No.
Is that all of them?
Yeah, pretty much.
I think I did, except
Okay.
for the Tracy.
Yeah.
All of them.
They all got an Instagram.
Any of them. I'll take any of
Even
them.
their dad has an Instagram.
I know. John, also, I'll say it right now.
We can-
England rugby sucks. All black everything, baby.
He's never coming on
All right.
the show now.
Here's the ground rules. Okay. Dance praise. How are we gonna get them to do dance praise?
You have to get a mat and a keyboard,
Yeah.
and you have to play with the keyboard, but also on the mat.
Are you able to send them the game where they can just use your keyboard?
No,
to play?
here's what it is. It's just send us a video.
Okay.
They gotta have TikTok, right?
Yeah.
We'll make a TikTok.
Okay. We'll do a TikTok.
Also, hot
And
take.
tag them.
Here's what I'll say.
Do a TikTok and
Hot
tag
take.
them.
TikTok is worse Vine. Fight me.
Honestly, I agree.
Okay. This is unpacking a whole lot here, and
I
I'm
know.
trying to wrap it up.
I know. Sorry.
Here's setting the terms of the battle. Any song could be Dance Praise 1, Dance Praise 2, Dance Praise the remixes, a bootleg version of the iOS game.
Worldwide Message Tribe.
Worldwide Message Tribe, doesn't matter. They pick the song, and 3 takes, best score wins. Does that sound fair?
What? How are we getting the score? We're doing the actual game? I thought we were just going to do a video.
Okay.
Most likes, 0 chance we win that.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
there's a 0. Listen, they're a family of hot girls. We're 2 dudes in our 30s. There's no way we're winning that.
I mean, okay. Battle of the legs, regardless.
We'll still do it. I don't care.
Yeah, Battle of the legs on TikTok. It doesn't
Have
have to
you
be
seen
dance
their
praise.
dancing videos on TikTok?
But
I
do
don't
they
care.
have dancing videos
I
on
don't
Yes,
care.
TikTok?
they do. Very
I don't care.
impressive.
Okay.
Have they seen me dance? I can do the Russian jig. Can you do
Okay.
the Russian jig?
That's
All right,
touche.
so we'll take it away from dance praise, and we'll just pick a has
Yeah.
to be a Christian song.
Yes, must be a Christian artist.
Yeah, it cannot be any of this
No Katy-
Drake.
No
or-
Katy Perry unless it's when she was Katie whatever.
Yeah, Katie Hudson.
Katie
Katie
Hudson.
Hudson.
Okay, well, guys, you've heard it here first. The dance battle, the gauntlet has been thrown. This episode is not officially out yet, so I'm wondering when it will get to them, but it's out there.
Probably never. Who knows?
Probably never. In the meantime, I'm going to be practicing my dance praise moves. I got to unlock I Want to Know You by Sonic Flood and unlock the rest of the
I'm
Beast Boys
gonna
songs.
memorize Fire.
Yep. We'll be experts in this by the time we're done. But overall, I think it was a great game, and I'm looking forward to playing the rest of the series.
I didn't rate it, but I'll say it was a 3.
Oh,
I'll say that
3 crosses.
the input was not. It was very hard. You really had to have it inside the outline. You couldn't. If you were off by anything, it was very little. Not forgiving.
Yeah.
But in terms of what it was trying to do, is trying to clone DDR, and it did that. It had the actual songs, the actual lyrics, not like covers of them or anything like that. And I had fun. I had fun playing it. I sweated through a shirt.
yeah, that's all you can ask for.
Three sweated through shirts out of 5 for me.
Awesome. Well, if you'd like us to check the other games in the series, for example, the Guitar Hero clones, or they have some Adventures in Odyssey games from the same publisher. If you'd like to hear some more from that, if you'd like us to
If you
explore
have
this dance battle topic,
any topic you want us to do, a band, a movie, anything, tweet it at us. Hit us on Instagram. Hit us on the TikTok we're going to make.
here's the socials: at Youth Group Reunion Tour,
Which platform is that?
Instagram.
Instagram.
On Twitter, we are at YG Reunion Tour, or Youth Group Reunion Tour at gmail.com.
For any questions or comments. Also, rate us, even if it's a bad rating. Just rate us. Tell us how to fix it. Tell us what we can do better.
And if you're going to rate a bad rating, at least make your comment funny. Like, I don't know. Make it hilarious.
Roast me.
Yeah, roast it. Leann, you're the first guest. How was your experience?
I feel
Would
really
you-
honored.
Would you would you recommend to our other friends from youth group that they come on as a guest?
Absolutely. It's a piece of cake. I'm just like looking right at you and just talking like I normally would. It's not even a big deal.
Yeah, usually when we have guests on, they plug their books or their
Yeah, do
movies
you want to
coming out.
plug anything, Leann? You got some socials. You want to plug any of them?
Yeah.
Go ahead, plug
Follow
them.
me on Instagram. My handle is L.L. And then I have to say my last name, and Mike doesn't want me to do that.
Do it. What's he gonna
Mike,
do?
my Instagram is gonna blow up.
Mike, you're really.
You don't want me to be
you're really
famous. You don't want me to be famous.
Mike's eyes are so big
Well,
right now.
I just scrubbed all of his old students off of my Instagram, so I just
It'll be
got
fine,
finished
Mike.
doing that, and he doesn't want it to
Mike,
happen
it'll be
again.
fine. It'll be fine.
I was hoping you would say like, haha, I have a movie coming out.
No, we're gonna plug her real.
No, that's the only thing I got going on.
She's gonna
My
be
Instagram.
Instagram famous. How's she gonna meet the Olsen twins?
I
if
don't
you
have, I don't have Twitter. I don't have TikTok. I don't have anything else.
Do it, Leann. Plug it. Plug it.
All right. As I was saying, my handle is L.
That was the longest spelling
Hey,
ever.
We were vibing off of
Yeah.
each other.
be cool.
Jared, you have to remember, I'm doing the editing here.
No,
So
this is never making it.
so people are just going to hear, and my name is Boop. And
Okay,
I
wait
boop.
a minute. So I don't know any podcasts out there where you don't actually know who the people are. First and last name, because you can always find them on social media.
Can you?
Yeah, so why wouldn't you just reveal yourself?
What's
Because
Joe?
Mike-
What's
because-
Joe Rogan's last name? See,
Michael.
no one knows.
Come on.
All right, let's wind
All
this
right.
down.
We're wrapping up here. Thanks,
This is
everyone.
getting cut.
Like, subscribe, comment, do all the things, and we will see you next time. I'm your host, Mike B.
My name's Jared, and we'll catch you on
The
flip side.
side.